Joined on the eve of the 2020 NHL Draft, the first round anyway, by two of really the most memorable, most standout-ish Crusaders in franchise history, Michael Benning, Carter Savoie. Gentlemen, thanks for taking some time one last time here to sit down before the draft day.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thank you.
So just put me into the mindset. We've been talking for a couple of years, guys, about just how what it's like for you being so young and trying to take it all in, I suppose, while still developing your skills. And all of that now has sort of culminated in you getting ready for your NHL draft. So maybe, Carter, you can start by just talking about the nerves, the excitement. How are you managing things sort of, 24 to 48 hours out?
Obviously it's super excited. Huge privilege to even be in like the running, I guess, for this. There's a lot of kids who play hockey around the world, so you got to be pretty pumped about that. The nerves, you just kind of got to push away. Just kind of got to hope for the best and see what happens. It's a very special day, so you just got to make the most of it for sure.
And Mike, this is really nothing new for your family. Only a few years back, or I guess, 8 of them now, when big brother Matt went in the 6th round. So do you guys have anything planned as far as, a family gathering, sitting near the cell phone sometime there on day 2? What is sort of the focus for you?
I haven't really talked about it with the fam. I think after I get the call from whatever team drafts me, they'll be the first people I call. I'll talk about that. But as far as it goes, not try to get your head wrapped around it so much. It'll be the team that picks you, see something in you as a player, and if you see guys go past that you think you're better than or whatever, you just can't let it get to you, and just kind of go from there.
So, I don't need to tell you what kind of bizarre offseason it's really been for everybody. It's been 6 months since I was calling your games out on the ice, and yet you're still trying to get into the best shape that you can be in, that you have been in. What has off-season training looked like for you guys in your draft year in the middle of a pandemic? Carter, we'll start with you.
So at the start, it was kind of like everyone was kind of quarantined, locked in their house there. So just kind of doing the home workouts, hopping on the treadmill every day, just kind of making the most out of your situation at home. And then our trainer opened up like a little gym in his, I would say, small little area in his garage, just for like small groups of like 3 or 4 to come in. So me and Mike were in the same group, and then we started doing that. And then once the gyms were allowed to open up, we hopped right back in the gym, got right back into it, and then started skating with Matt Tostoni about twice a week, just at River Cree. And then from there, it kind of picked up into 3 times a week, and then 4 times, and then just kind of build off as more privileges were kind of let loose from the COVID stuff.
And Mike, I can see you're sitting there in your Denver Pioneers shirt. Has there been anything as far as what this upcoming year looks like for you guys? Do you have a clearer picture of, I know the border's still not open. I don't even know how much you're allowed to discuss at this point, but at least in terms of how your school for both of you guys has sort of helped you with an off-season training program, and sort of how much have they been there to support you through this too?
Yeah, they've been here to support us quite a bit. Coming here, a little bit of COVID scares just from everywhere, every university. We dealt really well with it. We started progressing less cohorts, just with kind of trying to get more guys on the ice. Still have to wear masks and when we work out and skate. But I think there was a due date, November 24th, November 20th, something like that, is when they said the season would start. So I think that's a date to be looking forward for. So
obviously the big date we're looking forward to is October 5th, and probably more like for you guys October 6th in terms of, 7th for you guys when rounds 2 through 7 kick off. Mike, you're ranked 57th in the North American skaters, and Carter 50th. Perpetually linked. You guys have grown up together. You know, your families have been linked together. The success in hockey for you guys, you've really been step for step every bit of the way here. You could break it down to you guys even being a similar size. Do you think that there's something to be said? I mean, you're talking about how you're even training together in this off season, and we know you're off to school again. Like, doing all of the same sort of activities, and I know you play different positions, but like, you guys are developing together a lot, you know, just by virtue of spending so much time together over the last, 10 years or so. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, maybe a little more than 10 years, actually. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, we've been together. We've hung out together a lot. Spent a lot of summers, vacations. So, yeah.
Carter, has it meant something a little bit extra to you to have had, I mean, this is your best friend here, and his older brother went through the NHL draft process, as have so many in his family, and then you've got your younger brother, Matt, and being picked first overall in the Bantam draft last year, WHL-wise. So you guys don't seem like you're fazed by much of the pressure of this, but, you know, is it nice being able to be so close with somebody who has a very well-experienced sort of support network in his own right too, you know, sort of your own little bit of access to that, if you will, just by being so close?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice to talk about things with each other, just kind of see what teams are saying to you, just kind of get the gist of things. And then it's really nice to have his older brother, Matt, as an influencer too, just because he went to college. He made his way into the NHL with the Oilers. And then also Brian, I mean, he's been there, done all that too. So, I mean, it's really good influences, and been very good to me so far. So
let's do a couple of quick hitters, specifically on the Crusaders. So you guys, your legacy is in the history books. We know about the offensive points totals and all that sort of thing. Curious, I'll start with you, Mike. I want to think back to maybe a memorable moment of Carter on the ice. I mean, again, I say you guys are forever linked. Like, what is your most memorable moment from you two as teammates for something that happened with Carter?
Just with the crew here.
Yeah.
I think one of the memorable moments is in Fort Mac. I think it was game 3 or 4. I was tied 3-3, and I shot from the point, and he tipped it home. And, you know, all the guys are fired up, you know, just to go up in the series there. And you know, next game, you know, just kind of the goosebumps of the fans. They were singing "Oh Canada," and the fans, you know, "Oh Canada," and then they have a little pause of a silence, and then they go, "Oh, Savoie sucks." And, you know, just think that if someone says that, you know, they've obviously, you know, make a difference in the game, and, you know, I think that's a memorable moment.
Yeah, without a doubt, they've heard Carter's name a few times on the score sheet. But I got to ask you the same question, you know, even if it's something stupid, like maybe Mike fell at the blue line, maybe he laid somebody up, maybe he said something stupid on the bench. I don't know, but there's got to be maybe a less obvious, memorable moment for you about Mike.
I mean, obviously there's lots of memorable moments for Mike on the ice. Couple locker rooms too. Yeah, just being with the guys, everything. A couple pranks here and there between us and some other guys. Yeah, I think for Mike, I would say the biggest one for him was just when we first both walked into the crew room, just kind of being there together. That was a big one for me, I would say.
Do you ever really think of it individually? Do you ever think about what you guys sort of accomplished there? Is it hard for you to separate you know, being a part of that winning core, so to speak, from what you guys did individually? You know, when you think back on your time as a Crusader, I don't imagine it's ever really about the individual stuff that you guys put up, like your 50-goal season or Mike setting assist records for that kind of thing. You know, I imagine it's much more about having gone through it all together. Is that a fair thing to assume?
Yeah. I mean, both of us came in. We wanted to win. Both years we had pretty successful teams, and I mean, we wanted to grow from our first year to our second year. Unfortunately, we obviously didn't get the chance in the playoffs to make it further. But I mean, yeah, just kind of grow as a person, and be in that winning environment, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah, and
Mike, go ahead.
that like Adam and Jeff gave us that opportunity, that winning mentality. They kind of drilled in their heads, striving for excellence, and that pushed us to, have good players around us and be a winning hockey club.
So sort of setting the bar for, I mean, you guys really elevated where that team was in terms of how they were in the standings, in terms of how they were seen around the league. You guys were huge parts of that. Now having moved on, what do you think is next for that club? How do you see things sort of filling in after your time there?
I think that Jeff and Adam do, and Chaser as well, do a really good job of, recruiting new players. I think from our success in the last 2 years that players will come in and see me and Carter, Reed, Whitey, Zapernick, Franzak, all those guys coming off the college now. And they can see that, it's a big recruiting team now. People are starting to look at it, and, you see good players coming out of it. So I think that that's just been a really good ride. So.
All right, gentlemen, I won't hold you up any longer. Enjoy the next couple of days. I mean, I'm sure I don't need to tell you how much of a whirlwind that it's going to be. It's been such a pleasure having you around the organization, and the bar that you set. It's going to be strived for a long time. So congratulations on everything you accomplished, and good luck moving forward here as your NHL careers begin.
Thank you very much.